This week's episode of the Some Laugh Podcast is brought to you by our friends at CityLink. This August, CityLink are offering a £10 day return between Glasgow and Edinburgh on the 900 bus.
Stu's got a wee sleep mask on. You been having trouble sleeping, bro?
A little. I was wanting to buy a sleep mask anyway, so I was pleased that our friends at CityLink hooked me up.
As you can see from Stu's sleep mask, they're celebrating 40 years of
Happy birthday,
Scotland.
CityLink.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You can get 24-hour service between Glasgow and Edinburgh through the month of August. So if you're coming through the Fringe, perhaps to see one of the three of us, or maybe all of us.
Maybe. Or maybe a Some Laugh podcast, who knows? Then you can get the bus, the CityLink bus.
Have I heard of it?
Have you tried the bus?
Specifically the CityLink. All hours in the morning and the night.
Yes, go to the Fringe, enjoy yourself, have a few beers, see some shows, and then get the CityLink home. Have a little kip on the bus, put your eye mask on, relax.
And once every 15 minutes throughout the day as well. There's also USB.
There is, you can charge your phone.
USB-C ports.
Correct.
Yeah.
So no matter what you got, guys, they got you hooked up on the CityLink.
The duality of charging.
And I would like to come up with a little phrase for CityLink.
Go on.
If you think you're on the brink, get yourself a CityLink.
That's lovely.
How about that?
Really
There you
nice.
go. We're not even being paid to do that. Steve's just done that of his own.
that's
I done a
improv.
marketing degree. You're welcome.
It's what I like to call smart thinking CityLink.
It's the original, it's the best, it's the 900.
Correct.
If you're going through Edinburgh this August for the Fringe, or anything else for that matter, why not choose CityLink? Welcome to the Some Laugh Podcast.
It could be like, oh, that was some laugh, or there was just some laughs.
Well, no promising all laugh.
No, there's going to be some.
It's some laugh. Can I make a confession to you, Thor?
Yeah.
Who's our lovely guest this week, ladies and gentlemen, watching
Hello,
along.
Thor.
So
Hello.
I bumped into you, I think 3 years ago. It was probably 3 years ago now, because I remember you very kindly coming to my show 2 years ago and being very nice about that. Because comments don't come. But I think the year before, I'd bumped into you and I must have been a bit steaming, right? I was like, hey man, how's it going on that? Because I thought you were Patrick Spicer.
Yeah, I fucking knew it. I knew it. Because I remember that so well as well. And I knew who you were because I was such a new comedian and I'd seen some of your stuff online. And I remember like being in the bar and I thought that you said you're right, Pat, as in like Patrick.
Almost definitely did do that.
That you're like, you're right,
Sound like
Pat.
Thor, does it?
It doesn't, but it does sound like you're right, pal.
Pal, yeah.
So I remember being like, did he say Pat? Does he think I'm Patrick Spicer? But then also, I kind of just had to go with it because if you were like, you're right, pal, I can't just be like, I'm not Patrick Spicer. Like, that's a mad thing to say.
Why is he asking me how Mickey Overman's getting on?
Yeah, I think Mickey Overman's doing well. Yeah.
I can't have been the only one to. Am I the only one to make that mistake?
No, that me and Patrick are very good friends as well, which is like we have done gigs together where like Patrick has been on stage, walked off stage. I've been in the back, and a guy's turned around, seen me, and been like, "That was great, man." And I'm like, I'm wearing completely different clothes.
Yeah. Well, Stevens, do you used to get
We
mixed
used to
up quite a
go
lot?
back in the day.
Back in the day when I was skinnier and you were chubbier.
And we
now-
both had hope in our eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like a compliment, though. I find normally when
Yeah.
people
Two
like.
big handsome fellas, you guys.
I mean, Patrick is. So basically, I've been told by my agent I'm not allowed to read any reviews, but someone did tell me that I got described as Scandi Ed Gamble, which I actually think is a massive
Scamble?
compliment.
Yeah,
Scamble.
Scamble, yeah.
I think that's
absolutely.
a pretty good compliment. Yeah.
Pretty
That's good. Yeah.
That's good. Well, you can, does Norway get their own version of off menu?
Yeah, well, they do now. I just gotta find a Norwegian James Acast.
What a concept.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go. But yeah, no, I do remember that really well.
That's funny.
And I fucking knew it, and I've never known whether
I
you
thought I
say
styled
Pat.
it out. I thought I styled it out. But
You were just so friendly though, and I've never met you before, and like,
yeah, I should just do that to everybody, and then I wouldn't be so rude to say.
Well, he was friendly because he thought he'd been gigging with you for 10 years.
Hey Patrick, man, how you getting? It's good to see you're doing so well. But
I think that I get Patrick Spicer I don't think Patrick Spicer ever goes, "Oh, you're Thor Stenhaug." I don't think that ever happens.
No.
Not
Well,
yet. Maybe soon though.
One
When
day.
you're a household name.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
But Patrick has only really blown up in the last maybe
year or
couple
so.
of years. Yeah.
Yeah, because we were in we done this show in 2019. I done a compilation show in what was then Carnivore, and he was on after us. And I just remember like he was doing a 45 that I just remember thinking, oh, he's going to be like the next like telly person, and obviously that then never really worked out. But it's worked out in the way that it now works out, which is that he just has made it big doing his own stuff. Which is
Yeah,
the way it goes,
live
isn't it?
telly.
Yeah. But that is the nice thing though, isn't it? Like,
Absolutely.
that it's like, there's no like commissioner guy or woman,
But it's not mainly guys.
whoever, or they, who are like, there's no person that can just be like, oh, I decide whether you're going to be successful or not now. Now it is just like, well, if you really want it, you will become successful, I think.
Yeah.
If you really want to and you have a little bit of talent.
There is still some gatekeepers for TV stuff, but
No,
obviously that is
absolutely.
not like important as if you want to build an audience.
The game has changed slightly.
Yeah.
There is definitely gatekeepers, like, but it doesn't mean that like you can't have a career.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And that's nice.
Yeah.
Was part of that, if you really want it thing, your motivation to move to London, Thor?
Well, I moved to London to start doing stand-up.
So you specifically done that?
Yeah.
Did you not do it in Norway?
No, never. No, I started in. Well, actually, I'd moved to Liverpool to go to university. I went to performing arts school.
Nice.
I don't know what I was doing there. I honestly don't know. Like I am. So I have an acting degree, but I'm a terrible actor. Unless you're a casting director, I'm really good. But really, like, I just wanted to be a comedian, and I was like in Liverpool, and also like. My English was really bad when I was like, even
Thankfully,
like,
you couldn't tell in Liverpool.
yeah. And then moving to Liverpool, I was like, this is not what we learn at all. But my English was really bad when I was like, so basically when I was 18, I had to do like an oral exam in English in Norway. And I was so nervous that I had to do this presentation, which was like 10 minutes long. I was so nervous. I threw up twice before the presentation. And then suddenly, I moved to Liverpool, kind of got more confident with it there. And then as soon as I graduated, I moved to London and I think I did like 3 gigs in 3 days because I was so scared. I was so scared I'd book in one and just wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, we're just going all in. And I didn't tell anyone that I was doing it, I remember.
Stand up at first. I think that's a good move because then it's like, I always felt like if I told too many people early on, I would, because I was shit and if I got enough discouragement, I would go, well, they're right, so I'll just stop. Whereas it's like, I know I'm shit now, but I need to get better. And so if I just do it without getting discouraged, I'll get good enough by a certain point that...
Yeah.
Did you guys know when you started that you would be shit for a bit? Were you like aware of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
I don't know.
Steve wasn't he? Steve thought he was the fucking
Steve's
the
never had a
master
bad
from
gig in his
the...
life.
No, like, I knew like some gigs went badly, but I didn't automatically think before doing a gig, this is going to go badly and I'm going to be shit for a while. I thought, oh, maybe you're just funny or maybe you're not funny. You know?
Really, yeah.
I thought for a while. And my first gig was good, but then I'd done a few gigs that were obviously bad.
But what is it like when you start out here though? Like, what would your first gig be? Would it be like with a proper audience?
The Stand.
The Stand, Red
Stand.
Roll.
Oh, Red
It's a
Roll,
bit
of
a-
course.
yeah,
And that is
classic.
a nice gig.
Yes, nice
Yeah.
game. So you can get, because I remember like when I done it, it was like, you get enough like of the laughs to feel what that rush is like when it's like really good. And then so like my third gig was to like basically nobody and I get nothing. But I was like, well, I can handle how that feels, so I'm willing to go through that to chase that dragon of, that big fucking laugh at the the stand or whatever. So it's quite a good kind of it's because you need to do a lot of shitty pub gigs like you would do anywhere, but the fact you've got a nice club there to show you what it can be like when it's good, was a good motivator.
Yeah, because I think if I'd done pub gigs for like the first 10 gigs with 5 audience members and that, I don't think I would have continued it if I didn't have
It is
that good
brutal,
gig.
to be fair. But in London you have like bringer gigs though. So my first gig was like I had
To
a
all your
friend
friends.
who came to see me or like another comedian, and then So that is at least a little bit better, I do think. Not that I'm advocating bringing gigs here, but but that is better than having no one.
Yeah.
But the stand is really good. I used to go to Liverpool loads when I started and do like hot water
Aye.
because they had like a new act night. And I remember 1 week I went to Liverpool 4 times in a week.
Wow.
But I still had a day job, so I had to like get the train, do the gig.
shit.
I got the bus in the morning.
Fucking hell.
Then I worked as a Harry Potter walking tour guide. We have those in
And
London as
Liverpool.
well.
Oh, in London.
Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool is essential for the Harry Potter series.
Wants to find a way to combine the Beatles and Harry Potter into one.
Yeah.
That's going to be huge.
100%.
Do you like the Beatles? Do you like Harry Potter? Mate, you can make so much money.
What was it like growing up in Norway? I don't know much about Norway, nor do our listeners presumably. So tell us a wee bit about that.
It was good. I think like Norway is like quite similar to Scotland in many ways. I feel like Norway is like the Scotland of Scandinavia. And I am scared of I'm scared I'm going to say something wrong.
No, it's fine. No, go on.
No,
But
that's
like,
interesting.
I mean, we're like similar population. Aren't you guys like 5 million?
Yeah,
I
Something
think
like that, yeah.
we're 5 million, and also like,
I guess we've maybe got Viking ancestry as well. So there's
hey,
just,
there's a lot of words. Kirk,
Yeah,
Church.
they mean church.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's for you guys.
that's a Norwegian word.
Mhm.
Kirke, but it's spelled the same way.
Mhm.
And like, I know some Scottish people, they would say like bra and barn, and those are like Norwegian words. So we're kind of
Because you
related,
guys came over and non-consensually breeded.
It was actually toxic what you guys did.
This is why I'm on the podcast. To
Would
ruin
you, like,
any buzz.
would you like to apologise on behalf of your ancestor, dear Bob?
Where in Norway are you from?
So I'm from an hour outside of Oslo.
Okay.
And then, but when I was 10, I moved to Bergen. And Bergen is like actually quite similar to Liverpool. Like the dialect is like completely different to anything else. And when I moved over with like kind of like a standard Norwegian dialect, I remember.
You're fucking southerner.
Yeah, no, but honestly, that is like, they were like, oh, I remember people like, oh, here is the Oslo boy. I'd never been to Oslo in my life. But it was good. Yeah, it was, I mean, it's like, I'm from like a tiny place. So I've always lived in a very small place. So it's that kind of thing that the only dream you could ever really have, kind of sometimes it felt like, was that you could dream of being a footballer. Or work in oil, kind of thing. Like you couldn't
Yeah,
dream of
right.
like being a comedian.
Yeah, it's like Scotland.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But Scottish people are such good storytellers, though. I just would have assumed that it would be more like.
but the comedy scene here is you know, quite well known and stuff. But I guess like, what is the comedy scene like in Norway?
It's a lot better than you think it is right now.
Yeah.
It is pretty good. It's booming. Like it's it's never been better than now. There's loads
Who's
of
your
good
big,
comedians.
is Ismo, is he for Norway?
He's Finnish.
sorry.
That's all right,
Fuck's
mate. Michael
Sophie Hagen?
McIntyre. He's English, isn't he? Oh yeah.
The great Glaswegian comedian Michael McIntyre.
From the rough East End of Glasgow. Dragged up.
Man, that would have been.
Back in my day, we didn't have man drawers, you know.
The thing is, though, the Norwegian comedians, you wouldn't heard about them because they gig in Norwegian.
Yeah.
So, like, actually, the most nervous I've ever been for a gig was at the Fringe 2 years ago. I was doing this, like, compilation show, and all of my comedy heroes were in the audience because they were, like, on, like, they were doing, like, 3 nights of, like, a Scandinavian show or whatever. So they taken like the biggest stand-up comedians in Scandinavia, and they're all doing like 7-minute sets.
It's crushing.
And they were like, "Oh, we should go and see something." And they all went and see the show that I was on. They didn't even know that I was on. It was just random, and that was like so surreal.
Yeah.
Just walking on and seeing like, you know, Dagfinn Lyngbø, which I'm sure you guys would have been
course.
nervous as well. Dagfinn
Big
Lyngbø,
influence on us.
really
Of
big
course,
influence. Yeah. And
I've got a poster of him on my wall.
yeah. What does he look like?
Good guy.
Yeah.
Looks good.
He does
Foyle
look
is a
good.
funny guy.
He's a good
He's
guy.
got it.
But yeah, I mean, but so I was dreaming of being a footballer, and then that fell through pretty quickly.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, when I was like
You know, it's
11.
tough competition, to be fair. You know, if you're a striker, particularly,
Yeah.
your man Haaland.
Yeah. I'll blame it on that. If I was born a couple of years after that, I would have been. I was going to be a journalist. That was the plan. I was going to be a sports journalist. And when I was 16, I had like a moped. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
And I would drive around and I write for the local newspaper, which would be like, I mean, it's so local. It would be stuff like they would have like a little hike and I would like interview these kids who were like, it's fun to walk. And like, that would be like,
you got on your moped, catch you later, losers.
So yeah, that was it kind of thing. And then it was like kind of only when like I auditioned to get into this performing arts school. It's called LIPA. It's like the Paul McCartney school. Is
Oh,
what it's
yeah.
called.
Yeah, well, I know you spoke about this recently on another podcast that we're not going to name.
Did Ray Bradshaw go to that? No.
He might have done because he did go to Liverpool, and I think
Paul
it was in
McCartney
But
was
did you? Because you met McCartney when you graduated, did you?
I did meet Paul McCartney.
Wow.
Yeah.
How
And
was that?
I was so nervous.
Yeah.
Completely shat myself.
Because you're a big fan of Harry Potter.
Big fan of Harry Potter. Hey man, who's you? I'm a Hufflepuff as well. No, would he be a Hufflepuff? I don't know.
He's a Gryffindor if I've
Gryffindor,
ever
I
seen
think,
one.
I feel like he would be.
Would you think John
Gryffindor.
is
John-
Lennon Slytherin? Would you say?
You're a wizard, Harry.
You know the owner surely must be a Slytherin.
Yeah.
Or is that racist because I said that?
Probably. But
I didn't mean it.
No, I don't think so. I think she's no, I'd say John
She
Lennon.
didn't
would
even
be-
fucking go to school.
Yeah, she's like the exchange student. What you do? You're not even at the school.
I'll tell you what, if Yoko Ono was a character in Harry Potter, she would have had a much more racist name. That's all I'm going to
I
say.
know.
That's very
Based
true.
on what
Sat on the
JK
floor
does.
reading the paper.
Yeah.
I think John would have been a Gryffindor, personally. As a John.
No, he'd
as
be a
John guy.
Ravenclaw. He was meant to be the intense genius, wasn't he?
Is that right?
Don't you think they're all Gryffindors though, mate? Like if you think about it.
Ringo's a Hufflepuff,
Hufflepuff. Nailed
yeah.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rest my
George
case.
Ravenclaw.
Aye.
Yeah.
I think McCartney's a Slytherin.
No, McCartney's
no.
the cute, nice one.
That's what what she But I don't know, you can tell us for you've met him in real life, so what happened? What was it like?
So it was like when you graduate, he like gives you your degree. So you kind of just like walking up to him, you're shaking his hand, he's saying a couple of words, you get a picture, and that's it. And he's just so famous. So
Yeah.
I walk up to him and I see him, and it's just like I just keep thinking this is the only chance I will ever have to speak to him. And I said, I can play Twist and Shout on guitar. And he was like, what? And I was like, Twist and Shout? I can play it on guitar. And also, he doesn't know that I'm an acting student. He might think that I'm meant to be one of like the best musician students in the country. And I'm like, I can play this 3-chord song. Also, he didn't write Twist and Shout on guitar. Like that's just like a cover that they did. But I said that I was like, I can play Twist and Shout on guitar. And then he looked at me and he went, me too. And then we turned around, we took a picture, and that was it.
That's a great interaction. That's
It was
Yeah,
good. And then my
that's
parents were like, when I walked off, they were like, what were you talking about? You guys were talking for ages. And I was
talking
like,
shop.
Yeah. We're linking up, you know. We're linking up. But he seemed like a really nice guy. We actually had quite a few, like, because it's his school, we would have like some famous people coming in. We had Woody Harrelson,
Oh yeah.
Bill Nye came in.
Nice.
Bill
What
Nye.
the fuck are
Could
these
he-
people doing?
You
Just
couldn't
swanning around.
play Twist and Shout with the house, and could he?
yeah. Bill Nye, I can play Twist and Shout on the guitar.
What do you remember anything like so Woody Harrelson? Do you remember any of his acting tips that he gave you?
No, not really. Like, I felt like he was stoned when
Aye.
he came in. Like, I mean, I'm sure maybe he wasn't, but I remember our acting teacher, he was also American, and I feel like he was maybe bitter. I remember he said, Woody Harrelson is just a guy that got lucky.
Really?
Yeah. And
Do you
then
know
I
how-
was,
That's not great teaching, is it?
yeah.
He's got quite a mad story, is he not, Woody
His
Harrelson, about how
dad
he's got...
his dad's was a hitman.
Ah, is that it? Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a Slytherin.
And there's
Wow.
maybe like there's a rumors that him and what's the fucking all right was it?
Matthew
McConaughey.
McConaughey.
Yeah, they might be stepbrothers. I think they maybe had the same
Wow.
dad or something. Maybe
Because they're really good friends.
Yeah, they done True Detective together. But his
wow.
dad was like a hitman.
There you go.
There you go.
I know he's vegetarian.
Right.
because apparently that's why him and Paul McCartney are friends.
Right.
Because he's a vegetarian.
Linda used to do
is
the
it?
meals and all that.
Pledge.meatfreemondays.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Pledge.meatfreemondays.com. One of the great videos if you've not seen that. Google that.
We did have meat-free Mondays in our canteen.
Did you?
A
That
little
makes
bit,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, well, of course.
And Bill Nye, he was really cool. Bill Nye is such a nice guy. And do you think that's because he got famous much later in life?
Yeah,
So he
Shaun of the
lived their
Dead.
life and then got famous. What did he say?
And Shaun of the Dead, that was his breakout role.
For you at least. Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead.
I haven't seen it.
You
Oh,
never
you
seen
gotta
Shaun
see
of the
that, man.
Dead? Oh, wow.
That's a good film.
I've heard about it.
It's great.
I'm not that familiar with. I just know Bill Nye the Science Guy.
No.
Oh, come on. He's
Shaun
in
of the
Love Actually.
Dead.
He
Love
plays
Actually?
the dad. He plays Phil.
Who's he in Love Actually?
He's the guy. I
The
feel
rock
it
star.
in my fingers.
That's Marty Pello.
He's the old guy. He's skinny. You'd recognise
Right.
him. for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Fine.
He's.
I'm going to say National Treasure.
Yeah.
I would say so as
He's one of the
well.
most English guys in the world.
Right,
He was
okay.
also in Harry Potter, speaking of that.
There you go.
Mm.
All right. Well, unless he was in the Beatles, I don't know.
He was the fifth member of the Beatles.
But he was good, was he?
He was really cool. I remember he was the first one that spoke about being nervous and stuff. And I remember he said that he'd do this thing if he's on a set, he'll make a mistake straight away just to prove to people that he can make a mistake. So he'll go in on set and he'll just like in the middle of a scene just like kick over a chair or something. And everyone will be like, what the
This
fuck
guy
was that
sucks.
for? Yeah. And then he's kind of like broken that
Right.
I won't make
Interesting.
mistakes thing.
And I suppose if you're a quite high status, like you're the the lead actor in a thing, and you make a mistake, it gives everybody else the space to
That's
feel
smart,
like
Yeah.
you can do it.
Yeah, but I don't know how that would work, though, like in terms of being good for like, how would that
Thanks,
improve-
Bill. That's just cost us $500,000.
You're wasting everybody's time.
All these young actors stumbling onto set and kicking buckets over. They've been at the Bill Nye School of slapstick mistakes.
Yeah. Fuck some shit up on set if you want to be like me.
It does seem quite cool, though.
Yeah.
Bill Nye.
Yeah.
So that was the ones you remember that stuck out in terms of famous faces. that
We had
drop in?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Fucking hell.
way.
All right.
God rest his soul.
R.I.P.
We had it out about Ozzy a few weeks ago.
I was defending him, and I seen someone posting a similar thing saying, basically, doesn't matter what he done, he was a legend. And that's what I'm going to
What, that's the casting vote, is it? That's
Doesn't
it.
matter what he'd done.
So I don't actually know that much about Ozzy Osbourne. What did he do?
He bit the head off a bat, famously.
And he
Famously.
also killed, what, 19 cats,
I think it was
was it?
17 cats. he shot.
17 cats, and he tried to kill his wife.
Drug fueled, though. Drug fueled,
All
so
of
it
these
doesn't count
events
if it's drug
were drug
fueled.
Yeah. Oh wow.
But he was a legend.
We've been over this.
He
We've
was
been
a
over
complicated
this.
guy.
Right, aye. But what did he say?
He didn't say that. I think he said, I love cats. I love bats. To be fair, he actually didn't say, so it was him, Sharon Osbourne.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And they were being interviewed they did like a Q&A. It was Noddy Holder.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
From
yeah.
Slade.
Who, yeah.
What a crazy show this is.
Yeah.
from Nobys Nuts. Nobys Nuts? Is that him?
Yeah, Nobys Nuts. That's a fucking pool of... You bet you've not heard of Nobys Nuts.
No.
Noddy
Just
Holder
a brand of nuts that
brought a
were
brand of
available in the
nuts in.
noise.
Wait, was it actually called that?
No.
Nobby's,
Yeah,
but he's called Noddy and they were called Nobby's Nuts. It was very confusing.
No,
but
it's
his
confusing.
face was on the packet.
Yeah.
What? And his nuts. That's like the name of it.
Well, yeah.
Well, it was peanuts.
I don't know really anything about any of this. So,
you want to distance yourself
No, I'm
from
just
this?
you're getting nothing out of looking at me. Because I don't know what the
you don't
fuck-
remember Nobby's Nuts, bro?
I remember the nut, but I don't really know who Noddy Holder is that much.
The lead singer
The
of Slade.
Slade.
Christmas
It's
song.
Christmas.
Apparently, have you seen the film About a Boy?
Yeah.
Apparently, that character, because Hugh Grant's dad in that character had like one famous
Christmas song.
Christmas song. Apparently, it's based off
Right.
them.
Ah.
Did they have nuts in the film as well?
There are loads of nuts in the film.
It's basically a big product placement for Nobby's Nuts. That film.
Right.
I love that film. That's a nice film.
I
What
like
do
it.
you guys like English films?
Yeah.
Or is that like a?
I like that film.
Listen, if we were restricting ourselves to Scottish films, we would be slim pickings. Let's be honest. But
There's not a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I don't love Richard Curtis's films in general, I wouldn't say, but About a Boy's got a bit of charm about it, I
it
think.
does.
Yeah.
I've seen that in the cinema.
That
when
was
it
like a
came out.
last day of school film for us.
Yeah.
I guess it's like some nostalgia to
And
it.
it was breakout role for the wee guy,
Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult.
Who's Lex Luthor in the new Superman movie?
Is that right?
Yeah.
He's actually pretty good in it.
Aye.
Yeah.
I always thought he wasn't amazing, like in things, in skins and
Skins.
stuff like that. But
See when these big
Oh,
films come
That's
out.
not it, so,
you think?
okay.
It wasn't as bad as you guys thought it was.
See when you see,
Did
no, I
Bill
think
Nye
it's-
teach you that?
yeah. Make a mistake.
first day of the
Wreck the
podcast.
set.
See, talking about you were saying earlier on about like all the Norwegian comics, like because they speak in Norwegian, right? So see when films like About a Boy or any Hollywood films that come out in Norway, like do people go and watch them in English or they dubbed or what happens?
So About a Boy and those sort of films would be in English with like subtitles, but like the first Harry Potter films we watched in Norwegian.
All right.
Oh.
Like they were dubbed over.
Is it annoying or do you just get used to it?
I guess because I was a child,
Aye.
it was just very convenient because like I said, like my English wasn't even good when I was 18. So like imagine what it was like when I was like 6.
Yeah.
And is there like famous voiceover artists and that you recognize in different stuff?
I think like at the time I didn't realize because like I was so young, but like any like Pixar movie is still in Norwegian. So when people like talk about like like Tom Hanks being like incredible in
Toy Story. You're like, it was a
absolutely
different guy
not growing
from
up with that.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had no idea it was Tom Hanks until like maybe a couple of years ago.
Aye. Well, that's it. It's like when you're young, like you're a kid, you watch fucking Aladdin, you don't realise that fucking Robin Williams is a genie or whatever, do you? It's
Yeah.
only later you kind of clock on, I suppose, to all that kind of
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
Well-
I wonder what that must be like though, because I was doing comedy in the dark for the first time. Have you guys ever done
never
that?
done that.
Never done it.
Dan Tiernan, who's hosting it, was telling me the other day that he's like, oh yeah, I agreed to host it for a month because I thought I'd get loads of great clips out of it. And then it's completely in the dark.
That's
What the
so
fuck,
funny.
Is it being serious? Is
I
it-
know. He's like,
If anyone
He's
could
off
be
his nut.
serious about that, it would be
Yeah.
that, innit?
to be fair to Danny, I think he did sort of assume that while he was hosting, he
The
would
lights
be
would be
in
on.
the light.
Oh, right.
But how was it?
Well, what I was going to say is that because like you're just in the pitch dark, you suddenly become really aware of like how much the delivery has to be in the voice. And not just like saying the words, but also like you kind of have to bring like sort of like your emotion into the voice. But it was strange though, because I definitely call myself like, I realized I had my eyes closed
Yeah.
because it's so dark. There's kind of no point having your eyes open. But I don't know if I loved it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's like a fun gimmick, but at the end of the day, you're just taking away one thing
Yeah.
that makes
There's
comedy.
not much to stand up as it is.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
because it's like they say that most of communication is in the tonality and the body language, and if you're taking away the body language, that's almost like one of the main things, really, isn't it? So,
And does it encourage people to heckle as well? Because they're in the dark, they might feel safer to just shout out.
the crowd are usually in the dark anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they're
you could
almost dark.
really not tell who was actually
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you can't do this and be like, who is that?
Who is that? Yeah.
You would literally have to come out and get a lantern out or something and be like, who's there,
What do you do for a living? Who?
Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
No, they didn't really heckle. It was all right. I've just been struggling with my voice a little bit. So, or at the start of Fringe, I was. So, I just maybe that's why I didn't love it as much. They were nice people who ran it, and Dan is obviously very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you because like you're quite kind of you're saying about putting emotion in your voice and stuff. Is it a Norwegian trait? Would you say to be a bit because like obviously Erling Haaland famously is kind of like everyone talks about he's a robot. Is it like are you guys quite a sort of mellow people generally speaking?
I would say so. Yeah. You've been to Norway.
I have been to Norway. Yeah,
What do you
nice
think?
folk. Well, the impression I got, and from speaking to the other local comics there, was that you're quite reserved and very rule-abiding citizens. Is
Yeah.
that fair?
And also
Absolutely.
the happiest country in the world. Is that a myth?
But isn't that mad though? Because those two things don't align at all. We're happy, but we're not showing it to anyone.
Just feeling it inside.
It's like those couples, they don't post on Instagram because we don't need to. Okay? We show off to other people. You know what I mean?
I can't believe that we're the happiest people in the world. I do think we are happy because like I do think like it is a myth that like, you know, like poor people are happier, like more appreciative of like stuff than rich people. But also it's not like everyone in Norway is rich. Like I didn't grow up in like a rich family. Like my parents had a one-night stand and my dad was in the army and my mom was a student. So like they didn't have much money growing up. But I guess the kind of like base level middle class, because in Norway most people are middle class. It's not like in the UK where like middle class means that you're like a little bit well off.
Yeah.
In Norway, it just means like you're in the middle, and most people are there. And then there aren't as big differences to the rich and the
Less
poor.
inequality.
Yeah.
Is there more of like a safety net and a kind of like you know, like welfare system kind of thing that helps people then?
And we'd pay a lot more tax as well. That's what I love, because like I was speaking to like Mary Lane and she keeps going on about like Shetland apparently wants to be Norwegian again because Shetland used to be a part of Norway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I bet they do, but I bet when we told them about like how much tax they had to pay, they just wouldn't.
Yeah. Because
Or
they're
like-
quite a Lib Dem place, I think, Shetland. I'm
Yeah, they
sure.
vote Lib Dem. I think. No, I think it's Orkney that votes Lib Dem.
Oh, is it?
I'm not sure what Shetland does. But anyway.
But
I don't know.
think they'd like to pay tax.
It does seem like things just work though in Norway when I was there. Just everything works. That was new.
Well, it can't. Well, that's the thing. But I remember gigging there, and Steve Bujaya. I remember he did a bit about like he was like, and you know the trains here, guys. Your trains are just working. In the UK, trains aren't working. And I remember people were like, "What?" Because the thing is, no matter where you live, no one's ever happy. Everyone's like, "Oh, the buses are late, the trains are late." No one's ever happy.
That's true.
But I would say that we are, as a nation, more reserved. But I don't think I am that reserved. I think I'm a lot more animated than most Norwegians. But I don't know why.
You're certainly a very positive, happy person, and I think people are drawn towards you, Thor, because of that. And do you think that helps you? Do you try and bring that into your comedy? But you always like, did you think it took a while? Because sometimes it takes you a while to become yourself on stage. Or did you ever start out being deadpanning on it and then you had to bring more of that in? Or what were you like when you're starting?
No, I was definitely never deadpan. I do feel like it probably took a little bit of time before I realized that the more positive I am on stage, the better I normally am. So like, I don't have a lot of rants about like, oh, what's the point of this thing kind of thing.
Do you turn on the audience ever if they're not giving you what you want?
Must be tough because you're a strapping young Scandinavian lad. You can't be getting away with calling them all fucking wankers or whatever. You know, it'd be nice. A smile on your face.
Well, if someone's cheeky, you can definitely smile and say "fuck off," and that's people kind of are fine with that, I think. But it is actually true. Like if I ever get annoyed, like let's say that I'm like a bit hungry or something, like do you know like you're a bit hungry and then someone's being annoying or chatting or whatever. I have definitely done that where I've been like, oh, can you just shut the fuck up? And people are like, what happened?
Who's that guy?
And they really don't like that.
Yeah.
And it's much harder for me to then go back and be like, hey.
100%.
So that is more difficult. But I feel like I am probably quite like a positive person out of nature. I feel like both of my parents are quite positive people. And but I hope I'm not positive in like an annoying way. Like
No, I don't think
so.
that comes across.
I think it's only if it feels maybe inauthentic, but I think with yourself it seems very authentic and who you are, which is why it's good. And you mentioned your parents there, and obviously you mentioned a minute ago about you being born as the result of a one night stand, which is largely what your show's about this year. Can you talk a wee bit about that and what the script is with that, and what is it like when knowing it? Because I couldn't imagine. When did you find out that you were the result of a one night stand? I suppose is a good.
Well, I mean, I've
starting
never grown up seeing like my parents together, but I think for a while, I don't know if I made this up or if they told me, or one of them told me that for a while I thought that they were together until I was like 2, and then they broke up or whatever. But I think I was about maybe 15, maybe a bit younger than that, when I just kind of like, I knew that they met in a pub. I knew that my mum was a student on one side of the country, like in the north. My dad was in the army, so he was just like everywhere, like he was like an instructor. So I think I just asked my mum, I was like, did you guys have a one night stand? And then my mum was like, yeah. And I remember asking my dad, and he was like, no. And I was like, what? And he was like, I think it was 2 nights. I remember he said that. And I remember asking my mum, and she was like, no, it's 1 night. He's thinking of someone else.
That's when he was other kids somewhere.
Yeah. But it was good. So basically, my parents, they've never been in a relationship with each other, but they both raised me together. So I had no idea that like we went on like holidays together.
Right.
Wow.
Wow.
I say holiday. It was one. We went on one holiday. But like we would like celebrate my birthday together. My mum still speaks to my dad's mum like maybe once a week,
Right.
like
wow.
on the phone.
Mhm.
And
Be careful who you shag. Still gonna have fucking 30 years of Jesus Christ. You still talk to my mum.
could you imagine that, like having a one-night stand with someone 30 years later? You're so like, so you got new curtains, have you? All right. And then so they did the deed. Oh, I wish I didn't say that. They shagged, and then 2 months later, my mom was like phoning around in the Norwegian army because she was pregnant and she didn't know where my dad was.
All right. Wow.
And she was trying to, and I asked my dad, and my dad said that he received a letter from my mom that said 2 things. He said, 1, I'm pregnant, and 2, I've got chlamydia. I think you gave me chlamydia.
Give me 2 things.
Which
Wow.
one would you keep? Snog, marry,
you
kill.
can, one's a lot easier to get rid of than the other. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
What
so
the hell?
That's a
true.
hell of a letter.
So that's kind of what my show is about. But what do you know? What I actually want to talk about, which has actually been so nice, is that my mum and my dad came to see the show
Oh, nice.
together.
Oh.
So now my dad lives near Oslo and my mum lives in Bergen. So that's 8 hours away. So my
Yeah.
parents never see each other. Like since I was like 10 years old, they haven't seen each other many times. And they flew over to watch it, and they were walking around like a married couple.
Oh, wow.
Like they were like getting drunk together. They stayed in the same hotel.
Fuck, I've got something to tell you. You've got a brother on the way.
What a show. One Night Stand Baby 2.
It's like Happy Gilmore, the sequel 30 years later. Don't know if we asked for this, actually.
And it's never going to be as good as the first one.
That's it.
But that was so nice.
That's lovely.
And they were
That's great.
just hanging out together all day. And so I would like do my show or do spots and then pop out and see them. And it was really nice. Like it was, it was obviously strange doing the show to them
Yeah.
because like I'm in, like the space I'm in is like about 60 seater. So like you can see everyone.
Yeah.
And we had like a camera crew in on the first day because like the Norwegian BBC have done like a little bit of a feature on like me doing like my first show here. So they were like, kind of like, they wanted my parents on the front row so that they could film their reactions.
Oh, wow.
Especially when I'm like, my dad wanted an abortion. And I turned to my dad and he's like,
He's like mugging at the camera. Like, oh.
Can we do a comedy in the dark for this one? Can we just put the lights off?
lantern and gonna get some clips out of this. That's funny. I have a brother, but he's my half brother.
Yeah.
So he's 11 years younger than me. We don't look anything alike. He's ginger.
Which half?
Pardon?
From the dad or mum?
Mum.
Yeah, mum.
Same mum, and completely different because he's from Bergen, so he has like that Bergen accent. Like think of like a Scouse accent.
Scouser,
And then I have like a standard English accent, you could say, and my mum has like a northern accent. So it's like when we would go on holiday, people would just be like, "Where the fuck are you guys from?"
Like comics in a car share. Like,
Yeah.
how do you all know each other?
Well, I'm assuming you probably touched about this in the show as well, Thor. But how has that then, like, you know, knowing that about, you know, where you came from with your parents' relationship there, how's that affected your, like, sort of attitude towards dating and shagging, I suppose, and all that kind of stuff? Like, do you ever, you know, are you scared of, You know, getting someone pregnant for a one night stand and having a
Mark's,
baby. Or
there's
do
a
you
lot
want
of
to do it?
baggage in this question.
I'm just talking to someone about my worst nightmare right now.
No, I love that.
How does it affect your attitude?
I
to
love
this
that we
one?
went from you thinking I'm Patrick Spicer to this. No, but you're completely right though. I genuinely think, and I think this is like, I'm gonna cringe saying this. I think out of my friends, I am by far the best one to wear a condom. Like I haven't had unprotected sex in like, I don't know.
Ever.
Like, no, I have ever, but like maybe like 8 years.
Wow.
Even when I've been in relationships,
Wow.
I've been like, yeah, because I'm very aware of what could happen. But in terms of dating, I mean, I quite like dating. I think it's really fun to meet people. So, and also maybe because like my parents weren't like they both got married, but they got divorced quite quickly, as in like to different people. I think I'm definitely like feel more like fine with not being in relationships because like my parents weren't really in relationships for a lot of my life. But yeah, I'm definitely more careful about it. What are you guys? You're in a relationship, obviously.
Yes.
Are you?
Married.
Oh wow, is it?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
When did you get married?
Last year.
Oh, is it? That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Was it a nice ceremony? I'm sure you guys have talked about this.
These
We
guys
were
were the best men.
Yeah.
Where are you
It's
actually?
just another fucking gig for us.
We are just worrying about getting some good clips out of this.
Man, a best man speech though. You don't get a better audience than that.
Yeah.
You're in there. No.
You guys done well.
No, I was
You
saying
done
that
that
was good,
it's actually quite a tough room because, you know, there's family, there's people, and there's loads of people there that like knew you like much longer than we had. So it's like, you know,
Also, and it's not like set up for a gig either, so there's no spotlights. The mics were shit. You almost had to share a mic.
There was
Yeah,
tech
there's-
issues.
It's behind a table.
The
and stuff.
one thing we kept saying to Steve is we've definitely got 2 mics, don't we? Aye, 2 mics, 2 mics.
I was
We've done it.
told.
We've gone to do a wee recce of the room before the dinner and 1 mic. But thankfully we got a spare from the guy who's playing piano.
Mhm.
Shout out
Alex.
to Alex,
Piano
who got Michael Riley, who's also a listener,
Yep.
to sort us out. But I gave Stu the dud one. the mic was fine. It's just the speaker was in the corner.
The
That's
hierarchy
what-
was clear.
Yeah.
But you guys done well. It was a good.
I
it
got
was a
some good
gig.
laughs.
The problem
I
is we
was-
had to follow Steve at his own wedding because he did a speech.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it is. Steve killed it, and he went long as well.
Did you give him the light?
Flash
Aye.
me at 10. Lads.
It's tough to follow a lip sync battle, you know. So, not the. Do you know? I was proud of this. I bring this up all the time, but I was proud because I got a laugh at the altar.
Oh,
he's
really?
so
Yes.
fucking proud of this.
I love this,
Yeah,
right?
he's so
'Cause-
proud.
So there was a thing in the ceremony that there was Steve was to hand his wife a thing of gold and silver.
A token of my riches or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Out
so-
of the
so it's
sporing
a
on your couch,
£2
you know, the
coin.
little
So
pouch.
obviously I
Oh,
had to
yeah.
use my money for that, but no, it was a £2 coin. So I put it in my sporting, right? And then so that day, Steve very kindly gave me and Stu a wee gift. We hit whiskey flask with some stuff. So we put some drink in it. Had the whiskey flask there, but then obviously it gets the ceremony. We've got loads going on. We need to shepherd the audience in, and we've got loads of responsibilities. Me and Stu. Then so we're up in the altar, and it gets to that point, and Steve turns to me and goes, "Have you got the £2 coin?" I'm like, "Oh fuck, it's in my sporting, but I need to dig into the sporting." So, and the only way I could get it, so I had to take it the whiskey flask, and I just handed it to Stu. Big laugh. I'm like, "Come on, there we go, killed
Physical
it."
comedy.
physical.
Prop-
That is
prop
a
comedy.
bit of good physical comedy.
Well,
that.
the priest actually came up to me and he said, "Did you plan that in advance?" I'm like, "No, but listen, some skills never leave you." Do you know what I mean? That's
He's a professional.
You don't need to go to Paul McCartney's acting school in order to do that.
Mate, I would never. That's great. That's funny, man. I love a wedding. It's I'm definitely coming to that point now where like I've been invited more weddings this year than I've ever been before.
Yeah. People think you're Patrick Spicer, probably.
Yeah. A lot of these people I don't even know. Like, who's Alfred Spicer? All right. Thanks for having me. Patrick, why are you doing that weird accent? Gertie.
Yeah, it's a character that he's got. No, I don't know. I prefer his crowd work, to be honest. But
But that's so nice, though. That's really nice that you guys. So, how long have you guys actually known each other?
10 years
Since comedy.
I would have
Aye,
known.
so
started.
over 10 years now.
Them two
Wow.
a bit longer.
Yeah. But we're from the same area, but we didn't know each other until we started doing comedy.
Where are you guys from?
Clydebank,
Clydebank.
outside of Glasgow.
Oh, are you Glaswegian as well?
No, I'm from the east coast of Scotland.
Cool.
Fife.
Can I tell you guys something that I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
I'm learning Gaelic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, on Duolingo.
Nice.
And you know what really annoys me?
Wow.
Because it is pronounced Gaelic, right?
In Scotland, but Gaelic is Irish.
Because I tell my mates this, my English mates, and they're all like, "Oh, it's Gaelic,"
No.
and I say, "No, it's Gaelic,"
Yes.
and they're like, "No," and then they go, "James," and they ask another English guy, he's like,
that's
what is the language in Scotland?" And he goes, "Gaelic," and they're like, "See."
No.
Well, the first thing
No,
about
they're wrong.
learning a Scottish language is you're going to have English people correcting your pronunciation.
I imagine on Duolingo's just got an English voice shouting over you on the thing.
Shut up. Yeah, but I don't know why I'm so fascinated by it. And I know it's not normal. I did like a bit of research before I came up, and it seems like only people like in islands and maybe some of the islands would speak it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah,
that's
it's
right,
kind of islanders. We've got
Everybody
pal
who
that
speaks
knows.
Gaelic in Scotland is on Scottish TV as a Gaelic translator. Or
Really?
a commentator, whatever, basically.
BBC Alba.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be
that's
so funny though if I became like a Gaelic comedian from Norway?
Yeah.
That's
The
a real
market.
niche.
Yeah, that's real.
At least if you're coming over raping and pillaging, you can learn the fucking language.
Yeah.
I was going to ask: is Thor a common name in Norway, or is that a stage name, or is it your real name?
No, it's my real name. So my name is Thor Odin. So like my middle name is Odin.
So that's another god.
Another
Double
god.
bubble, yeah.
Yeah. So when in Norway, you would also use both names. So like it was only when I was maybe like 17, 18, people started going by just Thor. So for most of my life,
Is that
I
because
was
you were being called Oslo boy for a few years?
yeah, wanker. And, but yeah, so I would be called like Thor Odin. Like
Okay,
people like
right.
Thor Odin, come over here. Or like, I don't know. That was my only act out I could think of. Come over here.
Come and tell Paul McCartney that you can do twist and shout.
But Thor is like a semi-common name. Like
Okay.
it used to be more common, maybe not like 1,000 years ago, but like maybe like 60 years ago.
Right.
But Thor Odin is not very common. So I definitely kids used to be like, what? Your name is like Thor Odin.
Two gods.
Yeah, they were like, definitely make fun of me for that. But who's laughing now? People in Bunker 1 at the Pleasance Courtyard.
There you go. Would that be like being called like Moses Christ or something?
Yeah, like,
yeah.
well, but Moses Christ.
What a good station, by the way. Who are you going to see at the Fringe tonight? Moses Christ.
Moses Christ just sounds like someone who wanted to say Jesus Christ and got the God wrong. Oh, Moses Christ.
Moses Christ is a fucking crack name. I'm saving
That's
that.
your
man.
new name.
But it's kind of like Odin is like Thor's dad. So, yeah. So what would be Jesus God? Yeah, kind of, yeah.
I wonder if Odin had Thor in a one night stand.
I bet he did.
There you go.
Yeah,
But it did.
probably.
But yeah, fairly normal. Like the Odin thing was the thing that was like, what? But it was only when I moved to the UK that people were like, is that actually your name?
Mhm.
And I really like my name now. Like it's
cool.
like a thing that like the
It's a
older
cool
you
name.
get, the more you kind of embrace it. But the only thing is like sometimes people get so excited when I tell them my name, and they kind of act as if I don't know. So they'd be like,
You've
Thor, and
seen
it'd be
the
like,
Marvel films,
Yeah.
surely? Over the Norse mythology.
I've
It's like
also
if
been-
you said to someone your name's Aquaman.
I'm Aquaman. They're like, wow, Aquaman. And I'm like, I know.
Your second name's Ragnarok.
But so anyway, so I'm interested in that. So like you specifically moved. So when you went to Liverpool to do acting, was that with a view to comedy then, or did you just want to be a performer of some kind?
Well, I remember like thinking, because I auditioned to go to this drama school, and I got in, and I remember thinking like maybe there's more to me than just comedy, and there really isn't. There really isn't. And then I had a great time. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of that, I was like, it was very clear that I wasn't like a natural actor. Like I'd never acted in my childhood. But when we wrote our dissertation, it just said that you had to write about something in performing arts. So I wrote about stand-up comedy and I interviewed loads of comedians to kind of like speak about the dissertation. But I would always be like, how do you like start comedy? Like I would be like, where would I go? What gigs would I do? So I interviewed like Chris Cantrill, for instance,
Oh, nice.
which is really fun now when we like bump into each other and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I did one last show that I called a storytelling performance. But it was stand-up. But it was just like if people didn't laugh.
Yeah,
Lower
it's
the
like-
expectations.
It's a
Yeah.
get out clause.
It could have been called Thor is speaking English.
Storytelling in the dark.
Storytelling in the dark, which was like me and my best friend Julian, and we are like best friends. He's from Norway as well, but it was like we wanted different things. I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. Julian wanted to write monologues about what it was like to grow up in Norway as like a mixed-raced kid, which was where he was from, like not very normal. So it was just strange because we would take turns. Like I would go on, he would go on, I would come back on. So I would go on and do this like terrible bit about like not being able to like tie my shoelaces as a kid and like make some jokes. And then Julian would go on and talk about the first time that he got called the N-word. And the audience were just like, what the fuck is going on? It was a roller coaster of emotions.
Wow.
But it was really, definitely, then I was like, oh, I really want to do this. And then I feel like for me, like, I don't know what you guys felt like, but for me, the thing I was most nervous about with comedy was, I was like, if I don't like this as much as I think I do, I really have no idea what I want to do with my life. And I remember that was the biggest relief after the first gig, was that I really enjoyed that. Even though, similar to you guys, like I knew I would be shit for a while. Like I'd heard people tell me that.
Yeah. I guess a lot of pressure if you've moved to a different country and all that
Yeah.
to pursue it. I think we just was something we tried and you never knew if it was going to be something you would even do again or,
Yeah,
or
because
whatever.
I was at uni doing like marketing, so I knew that if that didn't work out, then that was my plan B basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I went to drama school and I can't act. I have nothing to fall back on.
That's it. Well, you know, there's many a comedian who've carved a career out of that set of
well-trodden
circumstances.
path.
Yeah, but obviously you're here now and you've got your debut hour that you're currently doing at the Fringe, as we mentioned earlier on. And how are you finding it? Because obviously it's, you know, that a lot of pressure is put on that year, the debut hour year and stuff like that. Are you enjoying it so far? Are you able to just focus on the show, or how are you finding the pressures of that necessarily?
I actually really enjoy it. Like I'm having a really, really nice run, which is like, yeah, like I'm really grateful. Like I'm having such a good time. And it's weird because like I've done, you know, split bills at the Fringe. I've done work in progresses at the Fringe. And quite often I found it quite like a overwhelming process because you start seeing other people and comparing yourself to other people. And this is probably the first year where I'm like, no, I'm just enjoying it. And and I've been lucky because I've had like nice reviews and I've had like full rooms. And also it had to happen. Like at one point you just gotta
Bite the bullet.
And also I do feel like, the debut is like, it is, you know, the pressure or whatever. But it's kind of like what we spoke about earlier. It's like Patrick Spicer will tell you himself that he didn't have like the best debut ever. But he's having a great career right now.
Yeah.
So it's not like the be all end all
No, it's not.
anymore. I think at the first few days was challenging because I had 3 reviews in my first preview
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
from Scotsman, Chortle and Telegraph.
Wow.
And I've been told not to like Google, like they were like, we don't want you to read any reviews, but also my agent, if there's a good review, they post it.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like, because I've never been reviewed, I thought it was like, you know, in Friends, like there's like an episode where like Joey does a play and they all stay up overnight and they get like the morning newspaper and they'd read the review.
Yeah.
So I woke up and I checked my phone. I was like, nothing. I was like, were they all really bad? And for days I would just walk around and I'd be like, does everyone know? Like it was like I was doing stand-up for the first time. I was like, am I any good at this?
Yeah.
So that was a bit, but then now I'm just trying to focus on the audience and
Yeah.
having a
Absolutely.
good time.
As long as you're enjoying it and they're having fun, then that's the main thing.
And it's
Fuck
it's
the
just part of
critics.
the kind of like you know, it's sort of part of the journey until everybody goes through that. It's a sort of what's that word I'm thinking of? What do you call it?
I need more than this, buddy.
Say the sentence. What's
I don't know what you're trying to say.
You really didn't
a
say
rite of
that.
passage. A rite of
yeah.
passage is what I'm looking
That
at.
would be insane if you guys got that from
He
that.
gave us nothing.
All you said was,
it's,
what's that thing?
what am I thinking of?
Nice.
You know the words.
A rite of passage. Let's just get that in there. Clean. But do you know what I mean? It's a rite of passage type of thing to get, to have those experiences and do your first thing. And then once you got it, then you just go, all right, well, I've just had the same thing that most comics have had of like you go through it and you do it, and then you realise that it's all about, as Martin O'Neill, the old Celtic manager, once said, it's about those who pay and those who play. Right. And that's what you've got to remember.
Can you say it a
Mark's
bit
lost
slower?
It's about those who pay and those who play.
Oh
It's about
yeah.
the people paying for tickets and the people that do it as well, because they're comics, obviously. They're the people that really care.
But it is true though, and I also feel like I'm definitely like I never thought someone would mention Martin O'Neill on the podcast that I would ever do.
Well, yeah, me neither, but I knew who it would be if it did come up.
You had Ronnie Taylor as a Celtic manager.
That's right, Ronnie Taylor.
He's Norwegian.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that.
He had a good. He was meant to come in as Neil Lennon's assistant apparently, and then Neil Lennon left, and Taylor got the job. Done okay, but it was never a thing. But he went on to, I don't know where he is now, but he was at New York City FC for a while.
I think he went to America. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually in Norway. He was like a hotshot.
Yeah.
Of a manager. So when he went to Celtic, we were like, yeah, this is sick. And then, in our heads, we thought he was doing brilliantly because you guys won the league every year.
but we weren't playing against anyone those seasons, and then we got Rangers in the cup, and they put us out.
And that was the end of
And
that.
it was like, yeah, it's time to fuck off. And then who did we get? I think we got in Brendan Rodgers after that. So it's like you're kind of like, okay, here we go.
As a good manager.
Yeah.
But no, it is like a rite of passage. And but the thing is, I'm really proud of the show. I spent a lot of time making it. I think I did like 40 whips.
Yeah,
I did a
that's a lot.
lot.
That's a lot.
I did a lot of whips, and I went everywhere to like Droitwich and like these places, and like I did work really hard on it. So I liked the show, and then it seems like the audience are liking the show, and wasn't if people are. I'm a straight stand-up, so sometimes I feel like at the Fringe, if you're a bit like alternative or whatever, that could like in terms of like some critics be more in your favor, but. I just keep thinking like I want to tour this show, and if I'm going to tour it and people are like going to come out and maybe some of them have like babysitters or whatever, I can't just walk up and like be really sad for an hour and have a couple of jokes in there.
Well, it's a bit of a square peg in a round hole thing, because at the Fringe there's a certain thing that works, but then as you say, when you go out and tour it, people just want to laugh for an hour really or whatever. So in a way, it's like it's at the moment it might feel like critics want a certain thing, but once I think ultimately you just need to have in mind what your ultimate goal is, and if it is to tour it, then by the time you take it on tour, you'll be smashing, because you'll have done a full month of smashing it at the park, and that's it. And I think for you as well, actually what you said earlier, that's the nicest thing, I think, to have your parents come and see it and enjoy it, and then have that wee day around the Fringe. I think that's a lovely thing, particularly given what your show's about. So I would that's the real awards in my eyes.
The real awards with the friends who made along the way, as Martin O'Neill would say.
The rekindled one night stands. But listen, I think that covers it for the year. Thank you so much for joining us.
you.
Best of
That was
luck for the
great.
rest of the run.
Nice to see you, man.
Can you remind folk where your show is and where they can see you?
Yeah, so I'm at the Pleasance Courtyard at 8:40 every day of the run, and then I'm doing my first tour at the start of next year.
Amazing.
So in terms of Scotland, I'm definitely doing Glasgow. I would imagine Edinburgh as well. And
Do you know roughly when it will be? Have you got them?
I just know that it's the start of next year.
All right,
I don't
great.
actually know. It would be within the first 3 months of next year.
Magic.
Brilliant.
So yeah, I'm very excited about it, and thank you guys so much for having me.
Our
pleasure.
It's
Our pleasure,
really
mate.
cool, really fun to do it.
Thanks so much for doing it.
Great.
Well, listen, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in as well. And before going, obviously, remember, just as ever, we are on Patreon, so you can subscribe for as little as £3 a month. And you also can leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And send any
something
questions.
else, other
Something
stuff.
else. I'll like and subscribe on YouTube. And
Can
that's
I-
about it.
Sorry, can I plug
Go
my
on.
Instagram?
Absolutely.
Do it.
Yeah, of course.
Where can people find you, Thor?
Thor tells jokes.
There
Easy
we go.
to remember.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Sorry about that.
That's all
That's
good.
absolutely fine.
Thanks
No,
for
no.
listening, folks.